Welcome to day one of SAScon. I just helped set up maps and some of the prizes, and pretty soon we're going to get started with the first tournament of the convention, the Valkyrie Trials event, meaning that the winner of this tournament gets a buy into day 2 at Gen Con 2026. That is the World Championship event that is run by Renegade directly themselves. This event, which I'll put the descriptions up here for you, is a 485-point, 20-figure limit Renegade contemporary event, meaning that it uses the point adjustments that Renegade made to 10 of the figures that Hasbro had produced. Now, this event is a General Wars event, meaning that your entire army has to be from the same general. However, it allows some exceptions for the contemporary units. You can bring contemporary units with any other general up to a set point limit, so they're effectively free agents that can be brought with any general. That means that, for example, you can bring Attribution with Death Chasers as a Valkyrie general, which happens to be one of the best armies in the format. So there's a few cool things that you can do like that. The army I'm going to run with is 5 squads of Axe Grinders and Mogrim, so I'll be in the Aquila general for this event. The reason I brought this army is because I think it's a really good counter for that Death Chasers build, which is 6 Death Chasers with Attribution. I think that's a really strong army in this format, and I think it's important to have some play into it. One of the other top armies in this format is going to be 4 squads of Knights with Gilbert. I think that that army has a problem into the Death Chasers, though. I think that the Death Chasers Attribution is going to have the advantage over the Knights, but I do think that the Knights is going to have the advantage over my Axe Grinders build. So there's a little bit of a triangle there amongst those top 3 melee builds. I am expecting more Death Chasers, though, than Knights, just based on player tendencies, and so I thought it made more sense to go with the build that countered the Death Chasers build best. Axe Grinders are a really good counter to the Death Chasers for 2 reasons. One is that Attribution is a large figure, meaning that the Axe Grinders all get 4/4 base stats against Attribution. That means that without Raylan, which the Attribution army has to play without, the Axe Grinders are going to have really good stats into him and can kill him in 2 turns probably if I get 4 Axe Grinders next to him. The other bit is that Axe Grinders are going to trade really well with Death Chasers for 2 reasons. One, the Death Chasers 2 defense means that the Axe Grinders 3 attack is just going to cut through them pretty well. But more importantly, the Axe Grinders are a 4-person squad, while the Death Chasers are a 3-person squad. So those are 2 big advantages for them in that matchup against the Death Chasers specifically. Another benefit for me is that a few of the armies that Bonding Melee is poor into are not as great in this specific format. So 10th Regiment, for example, can't get access to Raylan because it's a General Wars format. 10th Regiment follow Einar, and Raylan follows Jandar. So if I do happen to run into 10th Regiment, they won't have Raylan, and they also have a point increase. They're one of those 10 units that got hit with Renegade pricing. Another army that I'm less worried about than normal would be Glad Blast. Gladiatrons and Blastatrons really need a 24-figure limit in order to run that army at its optimal way. They also really like to have Raylan, even with the price hike to her. So both the 20-figure limit and the lack of Raylan is going to hurt the Glad Blast army as well. Because those 2 armies are weaker, I think Bonding Melee is stronger. Now, normally heavies are the best Bonding Melee option to me in Renegade Contemporary. However, this point total was pretty much designed to hurt heavies maximally, because you end up with 65 points left over after you get 3 heavies with Grimneck and Narak, so it's a really awkward point total for heavies to fill out that army. Anyways, that's my army and why I'm running it. We will see how it goes. Looking forward to it, looking forward to SAScon as a whole, and I can't wait to get started.